Okay, let's go from simple to advanced grammar again. We're going to be looking at not only but also, but I call it inversion with not only but also. Don't worry about the name, just pay attention to how we connect two sentences and make it more complex. So originally we need to have two sentences. He solved my computer issue. He also told me all about the new virus. So there are two separate sentences and I want to connect them. I have two sentences. They're both about the past. Now they could either be both about the past, both about the present, both about the future, but they should be the same. So the structures need to be parallel. Two sentences need to be parallel. Now, to combine these two, I'm going to use not only but also, like this. Not only did he solve my computer issue, but he also told me about the new virus. So instead of having two sentences, now I have one, and I added not only here, and I added but also here. I just want you to feel how it changed. Don't go into details because I will do that in just a minute, and we'll look at the structure, but just kind of read the first sentence and the second sentence. I'll do it for you right now. He solved my computer issue. He also told me all about the new virus. So that's two separate sentences. Now together, not only did he solve my computer issue, but he also told me about the new virus. Now let's look at another one. He can solve my computer issue. He can also tell me about the new virus. Again, two separate sentences. Both parallel because they both have can in them, right? Now I'm going to bring in not only but also. Not only can he solve my computer issue, but he can also tell me about the new virus. Again, I added not only and but also. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. You can't just add not only but also and connect the two sentences because it will be grammatically incorrect. So there is a specific way that you need to work with the structure. And I'm going to show you right now. So if we're just talking about two parallel actions, and we're talking about two actions here, we don't have can or could or anything like that, just two actions. It would be not only plus do, does, or did plus subject plus verb. So like this, not only do I read every day. So this is for that first action, right? Not only do I do something, not only do I play basketball, not only does she, so does would be for subjects like she or he. Not only does she teach exam classes, not only does she do something, not only does the organization organize different events. Not only did, we could also do past, right? Not only did the government give us benefits, not only did he do something, not only did I forget something. So we could use do, we could use does, or we could use did directly after not only, and then we have our subject and verb, as you see here. And then in the second part, it would be but plus subject plus also plus verb. So it would be like this. But I also listen to podcasts regularly. That's these two sentences, right? Not only do I read every day, but I also listen to podcasts regularly. So here I split up the but and also, and I put the subject in the middle. And then I don't have a do anymore, right? Or does or anything like that. So not only do I read every day, but I also listen to podcasts regularly. The next one would be, but she also teaches reading comprehension classes. So that's with this sentence right here. Not only does she teach exam classes, but she also teaches reading comprehension classes. So again, I'm splitting up the but also and putting the subject in the middle. And the next one would be, but they also forgave our debt. So in this case, it would be related to this sentence. Not only did the government give us benefits, but they also forgave our debt. So again, I'm splitting the but and the also. If you want to look at these sentences completely, they would look like this. Not only do I read every day, but I also listen to podcasts regularly. Not only does she teach exam classes, but she also teaches reading comprehension classes. Not only did the government give us benefits, but they also forgave our debt. It's very important what's happening after not only, right? Not only, then you have your do, does, or did. and then you have your subject verb, right? So you need to pay very close attention to that. So when you have actions that don't have modal verbs like could or can or anything like that, or they don't have be verbs, they're just actions like read, I read every day, she teaches, or the government gave us something. When you have these actions, then you can use not only do, does, did, plus the subject and the verb. And then on the other side, you don't use the do, does, or did anymore. You have your but, and also, in all cases, the only difference is that here you want to put that subject between, right? But she also, but I also, but they also, and then the rest of your sentence. Now, this is when you have two parallel actions. So in these cases, we use do, does, or did, but sometimes we have modal verbs or states, which means you would be using can, could, will, would, or should. So this kind of changes a bit. You're using not only, again, you're using one of these modal verbs, and then you're using a subject, and then your verb, kind of like a question. So it would be like this. Not only can they relax now. I have not only, I have can, and then I have they relax now. Not only will she see improvements at work. So I have not only, I have will, and then I have subject and verb. So in this case, it's not only plus the modal verb and then the subject and the verb. And the other case, it was not only plus do, does, did, and then subject and verb, right? So it really depends what kind of two sentences you're trying to put together. Now, the other side would be like this, but, and then subject, and then can, could, or any modal verb, plus also plus verb. So it would look like this, but they can also stop recording. So you got the but, they can, and then also, and the rest. But she will also see results at home. Now, kind of just to put this together, of course, this is for that and this is for that. But so you can see it all together, it would look something like this. Not only can they relax now, but they can also stop recording. Not only will she see improvements at home, but she will also see results at home. So parallel structures here. If you're using can, then you're using can on this side. You're using will, you're using will on this side. Now, there are lots of problems with this grammar, even for native speakers. So if you're a native speaker and you speak English as your first language, you're still going to have problems with this. Why? Because you may do things like this. Not only they can study together, but also they can ask the teacher. This is wrong because you have can, and there is no inversion happening here. And we need to use inversion with not only, but also. So this is completely incorrect. Or some people might come and say, not only she goes out on weekends, but also she studies. So it doesn't work this way. This is incorrect grammar. To make it correct, you would say, not only can they. So this is where the inversion really happens, right? I mean, this is what I was talking about. So you got to make sure that you switch it around if you have modal verbs. You can also use it with be verbs as well. Not only can they study together. And then here on this side, just split the but and the also and put the subject and the modal verb in the middle. But they can also ask the teacher for help. And the other case, not only does she go out. So I didn't have a modal verb here, but I have to bring in something. So that's why I brought in the does. So that's why I said not only does she go out, then I don't need to say goes anymore because I already have does, but, and then I'm splitting but also bringing the subject, right? But she also studies. So pay attention to this. Watch this video a couple times. This is important, especially for writing when you're trying to connect two ideas together, maybe at the end of a paragraph or even at the beginning of a paragraph. Make sure you do it properly using not only, but also. Yes, it's inversion, but it's also a very strong way to connect sentences.